Okay, back, still up here. But there's a bunch of kids walking by, and now they're over there on the field. So they were walking by from Starehe boys, as I said here, and they're walking over to the field to have some kind of sports day or just gym or whatever it is. But one thing I want to point out about here, as you've seen on the video, pretty much everyone you see is quote-unquote black, or whatever people would say black in, like, say, the United States of America. Yet, as you've seen, there's people who are driving by in cars, there's police right there, there's a cop car right there, there's kids in school, there's those people I was talking about who are working for maybe $5 a day, pulling these massive carts across the city. There's a homeless person right there, just walking across the street, security guards, people doing different things. There's me over here on the bridge, doing whatever it is that I'm doing. But there's people of different classes, different levels, different achievements, and different stratifications in the society. And for somebody to say that it's this way here in Kenya because of something to do with colonialism is pretty ridiculous to me. I mean, there's an effect there. It didn't not happen, but there's been time. These people do have decisions to make in their life. There are different divisions that they have different cultures, different histories. And one thing you see, like with these kids right there playing out there, I saw them walking by and you can see those different tribes. There's some people who seem clearly Sudanese because they're just really tall, really darker skinned people. And there's something that happens. They used to stay in tribal areas, learn the tribal cultures, but now they've moved to cities and you have people coming together and getting to know each other in a different way when they live in cities. And you see with a different generation, they kind of have broken down some of these cultural divides on the tribal lines. It's not as strong as it is before. Now, it's still the same thing happens as you do in other countries you see in the West, where it's like, oh, in high school, people are kind of just hanging out. But when it comes to marriage, when it comes to after school, when it comes to building their life, they normally fall back to the default adults that they saw. And you often see, let's say somebody could have been, let's say, of the Muslim faith, and in high school, maybe they were Muslim from Bangladesh or something. They moved to the United States in high school, they're just playing on the football team, they're in clubs, they're sharing classes with people of different religions, different faiths, different backgrounds. But when it comes down to, okay, who am I going to marry, you'd find them going back to that default marriage that they saw, which is usually their parents, usually the adults that are around them were in that culture. And you see the same thing here, where they may be here playing around together as kids, but when it comes down, somebody from the Kikuyu tribe will likely marry somebody from the Kikuyu tribe when they get older, but slowly by slowly you see intermixing there. So now the whole thing we're talking about interracial marriages in the United States, there's a lot of people talking about, a lot of people in the black community in the United States, mostly the women from my experience are on that whole, the black men need to stay within the black community. And there's also a raising of white nationalist movements in some places saying, oh, we need to keep the white race pure, whatever that means for both those people. But you see here, there's also that same thing, oh, we need to keep the Kikuyus pure, we need to keep the Luyas pure. They have some kind of background thing with that where it's like, okay, we need to keep the culture. But does that really matter that much when somebody's living here in Nairobi? How much does that affect their actual life? But yeah, okay, back to the whole thing with the stratification, how that exists in different cities and different places, regardless, because humans make different choices and we have agency and we decide what we're going to do at a different time. Like right now, I could be sitting somewhere studying something instead of recording this video, and that might garner me a different level of rewards or achievement by doing that versus this. So that kind of thing is considered. Now, another thing I just wanted to mention, I don't know if you can see it right there. This is one thing that I've also been posting on. There's a chicken somewhere over there. This is a random chicken walking around. And there was that homeless guy, surely walking by. Now, that homeless guy is probably starving, probably doesn't have food to eat, but he's not just going to grab that chicken and go eat it somewhere. Because even he has some kind of he has some kind of awareness of possessions, of things that people own, and I think we all have that innately. Now, I'm not saying that's the only reason he's doing it. He probably, if he gets caught, somebody would probably do something to him. But that chicken is just wandering around. Nobody's really like taking care of the chicken. It's just kind of there. It's somebody's chicken. We used to have chickens, actually. This is the random story. We used to have chickens, and you just leave them go, and then they'd leave the chicken coop in your house, and then at night they'd come back because they know kind of where they live and everything. So that's free-range chicken right there. Again, like I had previous, I might have posted, no, I haven't uploaded the videos yet. But yeah, there's sometimes you see cattle walking around, you see goats, you see random animals kind of just walking around themselves, and then they end up going back home by themselves. And that's the full-on free-range meat that is so much of a popular thing right now in certain places. But here it's just kind of how things are. But yeah, that's probably going to be it for today's video. I've kind of touched on a few different topics. And, oh yeah, I checked where this was. It was General something Road. I already forgot. But there's also that whole thing of people naming areas after military people and different kind of things like that. Oh yeah, one more thing to mention. Right over there is a skyline. That's right there is Jomo Kenyatta. It's the Jomo Kenyatta International Conference Center. It's one of the most iconic buildings in Kenya. Like, I actually was reading this Hunter x Hunter, and I was flipping through the pages, and there was one of the scenes where the artist used the JKICC as a backdrop, as like one of the city skylines. That was pretty cool. But yeah, so that's the Central Business District. I'll go in there in later videos. But yeah, this is kind of the Eastleigh area. There's a lot of, the Eastleigh is called Little Mogadishu. There's an area in there normally because there's a lot of Somali migrants and Somali community that came across from Somalia. A lot of them moved to that area, and that's why it's called Little Mogadishu, which is the capital of Somalia. But yeah, so that's it for now. Till next video, this is Silas. Like, share, and subscribe. Goodbye.